Two. Oh, all right, there we go. So welcome back to another episode of MB3 Sports Talk. I believe this is episode 12 or 13. I got to go back and look. But we got a couple familiar faces here. We got, of course, Neil, Big Nate. We got Cordell down there in the corner. We also have Jawaun and a new face here, Miss Tykera Carter. So, Tykera, you can say hi to everybody. Or I don't know.
Hey, everybody.
So today, it's been a couple weeks since the finals, or a week or so since the finals ended. So it's been a lot of chatter about LeBron, and his status. So I just wanted to just throw out this topic here and see, what everybody thinks about LeBron's GOAT status. What do you think he stands among the top, let's say, 3 players in the history of NBA? We could start with, let's start with Tykera since we haven't heard from her at all.
Sure. So I'm a Lakers fan in general. I was a Lakers fan before LeBron got there because I was a big Kobe fan, growing up and stuff like that. So on my list, number 1 is always going to be Kobe Bryant personally for me. Just the fandom side of things, his nature, Mamba mentality and all that other stuff. And I think although LeBron is a great player, I feel like there's something that he lacks in that sense as far as tapping into that killer mentality all the time like Kobe. But like I said, that's just me personally. But I would put him above Jordan just because I didn't grow up watching Michael Jordan play. So I can't really attest to everything that he's done, past the film that I saw. But like I said, I grew up watching Kobe, grew up watching, LeBron ever since he was, basically in high school and his, I've seen all his years throughout the league. So that's just personal opinion on how I feel about that. And like I said, Jordan's still a GOAT though, but he's just not my top 2 because, I haven't seen him play live and experience that.
So yeah, Kobe and MJ is your top 2? I mean, not Kobe and MJ, Kobe and LeBron are your top 2? Sure. Okay.
That's fair. But I think we need to go to how we talk about or how you rate your top 5 and what we're talking. Like if I rated my top 5 Lakers of all time, LeBron will be like the 5th because first you got to go with Cap. That's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Then I got Magic. Then I got Kobe. And then I got Shaq, and then maybe LeBron were there. But there's some people on the Lakers that will probably be ranked above him. Now, status of all time, my top 5 players is 1 is Michael Jordan. 2 is Anthony Penny Hardaway. You guys didn't see him, but that's Brandon's middle name. Neil knows that. That's Brandon's middle name from Penny. Then comes Kobe Bryant. That's Bree. And then comes Allen Iverson. That's Brian. And then comes LeBron. That's my top 5, just my personal top 5. So I would never move LeBron technically above Michael, but it's not because of what everybody says. Like Ty said, he didn't have the killer mentality. I think the comparison that a lot of people do is wrong. Like I compare LeBron to Magic Johnson, not to Michael Jordan. He's more Magic than Michael to me. The closest thing to Michael Jordan I've ever seen. Skill set and mentality wise and everything. Magic Johnson and LeBron James make other people around them better. Scoring, killer mentality wise, the closest thing to MJ is Kobe Bryant. And that's just hands down. I ain't seen anybody closer. Closest thing to Magic is LeBron James. 6'8", 260, running the point these last 3 years of his career. He's the closest thing I've seen to Magic Johnson. So I think a lot of people, in my opinion, err when they compare him to MJ. He's not MJ. I compare him to Magic Johnson. Therefore, I have a different comparison. Michael Jordan will always be the GOAT for me. Right behind it, it's got to be LeBron. People say, well, Michael Jordan's been to 6 finals, but they discount everything else that he hadn't done. The 4 years in a row, he didn't get out the first round. The 2 years in a row, he didn't get out the second round. The year he didn't get out the conference finals. When he got to the finals finally, he won, but it took him a while to get there. And we're comparing LeBron's record. They say, well, he's 4-6 in the finals, 4 wins, 6 losses, but he's been to 10. We're comparing this man to 10 finals. So we comparing him against his own greatness. He's been to 10 finals. And my youngest son, and said it best. He's 15. Almost all his life, LeBron has been the top player.
That's
So
crazy.
we're comparing him to himself. So, and Brian was right. Brian said, well, he's the GOAT to me because he's been there. Like Ty said, you didn't see Michael Jordan. You never watched Michael Jordan live. You seen Kobe and you seen LeBron. So that's it. And Brian at 15, he's seen LeBron. He vaguely remembers Kobe, but he's seen LeBron. So to me, that would be my top 5. LeBron would be 5 at the end.
Let me say my point. Like, although, none of us besides maybe Cordell and my dad have seen MJ live, right?
Yeah.
So none of us will really be able to say, like, we seen clips, we seen Last Dance, we seen film and highlights, but it's nothing like seeing LeBron and Kobe live and you really comparing those two because you've seen those live. But in terms of just greatest of all time, when I watched The Last Dance, and even before Last Dance, you can tell it was something about Michael and just, Michael being the best player on the court, and you could just see it, like it was just this glow about him. Like everybody said, it was just like, watching a unicorn. But when you sit back and think, like, I've watched Kobe pretty much since the beginning, and I've watched LeBron since the beginning. And LeBron is such a complete all-around player, and just he ranks in top 5 in all the stats, really, that ever exists. So that's my first point. And then for 2, he's just, like I say, all around better player. Not saying that he does lack, I think, like Tykera said, that dog mentality to where he needs to lock in and really just go at you. But that's just not who he is. I don't think we've ever seen him like that except like Game 6 in the Boston series back a couple years ago when he was with Miami, and then just the last 3 games of the 2016 finals. But
I agree.
Other than that, LeBron is looking to make his team better. But if we compare them just based off of greatest of all time, 10 finals appearance, whether he's 4 or 6, 10 finals appearance.
Been to 10.
That's ridiculous. And it took him, man. People forget it took LeBron a while. Remember, we was talking about when's LeBron going to get his ring? He was approaching almost 10 years in the league, and we was like, all right, LeBron, where's your ring? When you going to get it? And, it took him a while to get it. But since he got there, he went on a run. I think it was like 9 straight in finals.
9 straight.
Nobody's ever done that before, And people say, well, Michael could have done it, but Michael retired. We won't know, if Michael could have done it a whole decade back in the, in the 90s. But that's my point, is just that he owns all the stats pretty much. And not only that, regular season stats, but also playoff stats and final stats, just everything. He's all over the place. To me, it's really hard to pick a GOAT, but to me, I think LeBron James, just because of just being an all-around better player than Michael and Kobe. So
it's very few.
LeBron,
yeah,
Michael and Kobe. And I don't like putting Kobe at the bottom, but it's just like I can't put Kobe over Mike because they pretty much the same player.
Yeah.
Like
Mike was a little better.
Yeah. But it's like we all go back and we look at the mentality, the scoring mentality, and I think you're born with that because Mike had that in him. We could see it throughout the North Carolina days. A lot of y'all you younger than me, you didn't see it. Kobe had it. We can see it coming through. Kobe just even the rookie year when he shot the 4 air balls against Utah, we could still see he had that killer mentality. He stayed in the gym. He got better with it. I think LeBron has an all-around game mentality. There's very few people that have that. Like I've seen, she doesn't know, but I've seen Ty have that mentality playing before she got to Riverdale. Riverdale kind of put the shackles on you. I just have to say I was glad when you left. They kind of put the shackles on you, changed your whole game because you came in as a scorer and you were surrounded by other scorers and they took the ball out of your hands. But when you left, the ball came back in your hand again. So very few people have that eye of the tiger, that different mentality. And I don't think we look at LeBron in the right sense of, because we always say he doesn't have that. He doesn't take care and then take over the game. He's always going to make the right play. We can even look at the game against the Heat. He drove, they hedged him, he was off balance, he kicked out. Danny Green missed the shot. That's it. That is point blank. But Danny Green had a whole football field wide openness. But that was the right play. We look at it and say Kobe and Mike would have forced that shot. Granted, they would have. They would have pulled up in the lane. They'd have forced that runner off the backboard, anything. But LeBron is always going to make the right play. All of us can agree that the right kick out was on a dribble drive offense. The kick out to Danny Green was the play. He was wide open. He missed the shot.
And he had KCP open in the corner too.
He had to go. All Danny Green had to do is go one more, and KCP would have had it. But the narrative would have been, it would have changed again that Danny Green or KCP bailed out LeBron, won his championship. Wouldn't have been that LeBron drew 5 people to him and kicked it to the right person. It would have been that LeBron didn't take that shot. He ain't had that killer mentality.
Or it
and they look at it and say, well, AD carried him to his championship. Okay, he led every stat on the Lakers team. So how did AD carry him? So that's, the narrative. We compare him to himself. So he's compared to greatness that he does, not other people. He's held to a different standard.
Very true.
So
just think about it. Remember Jimmy Butler had that great game 5? I think it was game 5, right? When he scored, like, LeBron does that every single game. Almost,
yes.
Pretty much. So it's just like, you got to take into account, Jimmy Butler's coming out party was LeBron's
every night.
Average game.
That's how great he is. So it's just like,
yeah.
But my thing of the issue is, I don't know what LeBron has to do to get this like killer mentality narrative away, because how does he have he's going to be the first leading scorer in NBA history. He has more game winners than Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan combined in the playoffs, and he's not considered a killer. In basketball, there are different ways to win the game and different ways to kill a cat. If their way is to go by the throat, LeBron is either I'm going to make the right play for myself or the right play for my teammates and live with the results. He's making the right basketball play. But this notion just because he passes the ball when need be that he's not a killer, I don't like that narrative, because it's a make or miss league at the end of the day. But he's made more than the guys people are talking about that are like that are considered clutch. And
somebody told me he's not an elite scorer.
I was like, how is he not an elite scorer when he's averaged 26, 27 points through 20 straight years? He's about to pass Kareem
the killer part, because I feel like there's times where you see him like literally turn it on and off. And that's the part that I don't like. Like you see, I think it was one of the games in the finals. He's attacking at will. Literally, AD was hurt. He's, putting the team on his back, going to the basket, scoring, just doing it off ease. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it takes him to, like, the third quarter or, late in the game to, like, want to do that. When I'm like, this is all day. And then, settles sometimes for that hezzy pull-up.
Yeah, I can't stand that.
Go to the cup. Like, and that's what I say. That's what I personally mean by killer, because I feel like he turns it on and off sometimes. But I mean, I guess we can say to that point, like that's his game. But I feel like sometimes he coasts.
So to combat that, all those guys like the Kobe's, the Michaels, the Allen Iversons, the Russell Westbrooks, the Kyrie Irvings, the killers, they are relentless. They don't stop. They keep going and going. LeBron has it, but the way his game is, he, like you said, he picks his spots when to do it. He's so unselfish in the mindset, like, all right, I know I'm this good. I'm gonna feel the game out. He's a feeler. He always says, I don't predetermine anything I'm gonna do. I see how the game is going, and then I go. So that's probably why you see him like sometimes, why you not attacking in the first quarter, but you do in the third quarter. He's a timely person. He's a timely player. He's not relentless like the guys you like. Kobe, Michael, AI, they keep coming. LeBron picks and chooses when to go, and he just makes or misses. That's his game.
Yeah, I hear you, Neil. I hear you, but I love LeBron, but I would have to agree with Chow on her perspective of a killer instinct. It's not saying that he does not have it. It just, some days he frustrates me when he settles for that jump shot. That's what the defense wants you to do. When he can get to the rim at any given time. Like the game 5, they were down big to the Heat. And then LeBron put him on his back and wheeled them back by drive after drive, steal, jumper, mid-range. He didn't settle for the 3. He got to the bucket, found other people. In a matter of 6 minutes, everyone knew that they were better than the Heat in a 6-minute span when they were down by 20-something, and cut it all the way back in the fourth quarter.
He did go 6 from 9 from the 3-point line that game as well.
Yeah, he did.
So you can't say he was settling.
But I'm not saying that, like, there's times where you see he got somebody guarding him. You look at that person automatically, you like, that's barbecue chicken. I don't know why he's not taking a straight cup. That's frustrating. And it's not to say that he can't shoot the three. Nobody said he's not a good shooter. But the thing is, when you got, I don't even know who to compare to. Sometimes I be looking at his defender and I'm like, take him. Like, literally take him. And I get what you're saying by Feeler. He's all at the top of the key. He looking this way. Boom, I'm going to just pass it that way. I'm like, that's a bucket. And that's what I see, because I'm thinking score mentality, killer mentality overall.
This is hilarious because you on here with 3 LeBron fans, so they all like sitting that long.
Hey, Neil.
Neil is over there shaking his head. But
and like I said, I'm a Lakers fan, I love LeBron. Like, I like the coach.
I agree with Neil.
But I'm saying the mindset is different at times.
I agree with Neil. I agree with Neil.
I agree with Tykera.
Where does narrative coming from?
I was watching a game. I think it was game 4. I'm like, why LeBron settling? At the end of the game, he had like 40. I couldn't say why he was settling. He realized let the game came to him. I'm like, this is tough right here. That's real tough. Like, I don't know how to explain it. He just let the game came to him. He was settling in the first half, but he ended up having 40. And it was the game after Jimmy Butler went off.
Yeah, he went off game 3, so LeBron went off on game 4.
Comparing this to finals, I'm just saying all the time.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I think everybody definitely has a point. I mean, yes, LeBron does coast. He definitely picks and chooses, and yes, it's definitely frustrating that LeBron at times will let a point guard him at the perimeter and let it irritate him, let it really stop him from being aggressive. That's definitely irritating at times. And also, at the same time, I think that it's easy for us to look at LeBron and sit there and say, oh man, you're the most dominant player on the court and you really can't be stopped. You should be going 100 miles per hour at the rim every time. It's easy to tell him to do that for 4 quarters when really he has to do everything. I mean, not as much as he's had to in the past, but LeBron's game in general, by nature, LeBron is going to fill up the stat sheet. He's going to do everything just by nature is what he does. I mean, GOAT status, for me, and really for everybody has a different version of what a GOAT is. That's number one. So nobody will ever be able to come on one accord as to who is the GOAT, because they'll pick and choose what to make, as the criteria for their argument. Because people who like Jordan will say, oh, well, Jordan is undefeated in the finals and he's got this all the mentality stuff. But then, when you actually say, okay, LeBron is actually the better player, because I believe he is from top to bottom. I think he is the better overall player than Michael Jordan. Then it's not about that. It's about all these other things. But for me, I think LeBron is definitely the GOAT because, and I don't think it can be overstated. Yes, he is 4-6 in the finals, but you can't discredit the era that he plays in. And everybody likes to say whatever about the eras and soft or whatnot, but the talent level in this era, in LeBron's era, is unquestionably better than the talent in Michael Jordan's era. And I definitely saw Penny and all of those guys. Allen Iverson is my favorite player of all time as well, but I can't sit here and act like we saw Michael Jordan slay the dragon of the Golden State Warriors, because he never had to face a team like that. He didn't. And at the same time, people can say that LeBron's played with better players. Again, I think by nature, LeBron's going to play with better players because the league is filled with great players, as opposed to Michael Jordan. The fourth guy in the starting 5 just might not be good. He just might be a scrub. Whereas now, like, the caliber of player is unquestionably better. It's unquestionably better. So
I think just the fact that that LeBron went through 8 straight finals and 10 in his career. I mean, if that's not a signal of dominance, and he's going to go down as the all-time leading scorer. He's going to own every statistical category. And I find it, and I'm a Heat fan, and I find it funny when everybody, yes, it is Wade County. Yes, it is Miami Heat is Wade County. Yes. But that does not mean that wasn't LeBron's team. Everybody likes to say LeBron was robbing during that time. In what world? LeBron led in every statistical category for the Heat. There is no 3 or 4 straight finals that we went to without LeBron. Let's not get that twisted. So people going to throw stones at him. It's just what it is. He has unreal expectations that I think nobody else that had coming out of high school or college, and he exceeded them. Kobe didn't have these expectations, and I don't think Mike had these expectations that LeBron had either. And LeBron surpassed it, and he's in the social media era. I just think all of that stuff adds up to make this more of a tougher era to play in. With everything that's going on and off the court, I think it makes it even tougher to do what LeBron does at a consistent basis. He is the model of consistency. Honestly, forever you can say what you want about him, but you know what LeBron's going to give you every night. So that's my thing. I'm going Mike. I'm going LeBron. I'm going Jordan second. And honestly, for me, AI's my favorite player. I'm not going to put him there, but for me that I watched, I'm going to say Shaq because I've never seen anybody dominate the way I saw Shaq dominate. And Kobe, Kobe was great, but without Shaq, that ain't happening. And I ain't going to say they would have just been a dynasty that they were without Kobe. But I think in that time, in that era, Shaq would have got him some rings. He'd have got him some rings regardless.
And he made a lot of sense.
Yeah, he did. I put Kobe above Shaq because Kobe got 2 without Shaq. And Kobe got 2 where he got one of those 2. Well, he got both of those with can't nobody name anybody remotely in their prime or in the top 100 players besides Paul Gasol.
Lamar Odom was 6th player of the year that year, one of the years.
That year, but you gonna put him in your top 50?
Of the league at that time? At the league at that time, Lamar Odom was a beast.
Yeah. Lamar Odom I still wouldn't put him in my top 50.
At that time, yeah. Don't forget, Ron Artest had the big 3.
Ron Artest did. He did. I said I would put Kobe above Shaq. They're going to my LeBron narrative. The last point I make is LeBron James averaged 28 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists in the finals. And we're led to believe, as Shannon Sharp would say, that that's doo-doo. That's how good that man is. We are led to believe that 28, 12, and 9 is boo-boo. That's what we're led to believe.
LeBron can go out there and score 50 points, and they'd be like, "Oh, he's trash because he missed 4 free throws in the fourth quarter." I'm done. I hate it. Like,
I mean, we're the trolling
at this point. It's nitpicking. It's like he hit 50 points, but he turned the ball over in the first quarter.
All they have is nitpicky stuff now because
that's all they have is nitpicky.
It's just to mess with him. Just be like, he missed 2 free throws in the last 2 minutes of the game, and they lost by 1 point. But he had a 40, 12, and 12 stat line. And people just keep that under the rug, like, okay. And I think we honestly, not we sitting here, but as a whole, are not really appreciating greatness while we're seeing it. Like we're watching a living legend play basketball, and then.
But it's kind of different with basketball players as well as coaches. When myself, Juan, and Ty watch a game, these missed free throws that he do, not taking away from his greatness. Sometimes these missed free throws piss me off. Sometimes him settling for that 3-pointer will piss me off. I'm like, dude, you can get to the rock anytime you want. Why are you pulling that one up with that fake little step back? Not discounting that he making it. I'm like, okay, that you made it, but that's the shot that they want you to take. Same thing with AD when he shoot that fadeaway jumper. Dude, you 6'11". You got a 6'8" dude on you. Why you shooting this fadeaway one-legged that Kobe took?
I mean, I feel like
that
people say stuff like that about Bron, and then I feel like they use their love for people like Kobe and them to feel their hate for Bron as if
they do. They do
everything right all the time. He didn't. Kobe was aggressive. Kobe would sit there and shoot the ball over whoever's in front of him. But is that always a good thing? I mean, is it? I mean, he shot some terrible shots sometimes. And Kobe probably had one of the worst finals games in Laker history, at least, in that Game 7 against Boston. So, I mean, people pick and choose what they like to remember about people. But, of course, when you're not playing no more, they love you to death. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, granted,
I think Bron's narrative is
take
going
away
to
from
change
his
once he's
greatness.
gone.
Yeah. But granted, I said it doesn't take away from his greatness. I just said it bothers me as a coach sometimes. I'm like, dude, get to the rim. Stop settling for that. Get to the rim. Hey, you get fouled, make your free throws. I said it bothers me. I didn't take away from his greatness. Because we're led to believe that, like Brandon said, we're watching greatness and we're led to believe that this is supposed to be average. He's supposed to do this every game because we're spoiled because this is LeBron. He's supposed to do this every game. We're supposed to turn on the TV and he lead every category for the whatever team he's playing for. We're supposed to do that. and I agree with you. I love Kobe Bryant, but Kobe would take 40 shots to make 40 points. So we have seen that.
So why is LeBron the only person allowed to have teammates? Because it's been same situations. Other players, their teammates step up, and they don't have the whole narrative where their legacy is saved. But when a teammate is supposed to do their job, it's all of a sudden, he got saved. AD saved LeBron. Kyrie saved LeBron. I don't get it.
That's just the narrative. That's storytelling. That's trying to make things of good entertainment.
Well, why didn't do that for Michael Jordan and Kobe? Why LeBron? I want to know why LeBron. That's my question. Why? Why him?
The era we in, because we like Cordell said, it's just more of a trolling era. Like people are on social media, and people can talk more and say their opinions more. And it's just, they can tweet it, they can Facebook it, they can Instagram it, they can do anything about their opinion. So I just think it's just, and it also is just people who, are younger, honestly, because it's, it's either younger people or older people. It's either the people that watch Kareem Abdul-Jabbar play and all that, or it's, it's just younger people who don't really know the game and just trolling. So
no, it's even these retired NBA players that be on TV still talking mess and then backtrack when LeBron wins. It's them too. It's Paul Pierce, it's Jalen Rose, it's all them guys.
That's just them hating though.
I'm just like
that's all that is. But yeah, so everybody who voted LeBron as the GOAT.
Yeah,
I ain't even say my top 5, but LeBron won.
Because
What happened?
It's LeBron and Kareem for me. They're top 2.
We're not gonna talk about Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce has made the most out of one championship in every life.
Wi-Fi.
Right. Wi-Fi going out. They was talking in slow motion.
Wait till it gets settled.
No, I got him as my 5th.
Right.
I got LeBron, Kareem, Kobe, Shaq, Mike.
I got Brian, Michael, Kobe.
I got Bron, Michael, Kobe, Shaq.
Nobody else?
And my 5th, I think I'm gonna go with Kareem.
Kareem has to be in your top 5.
Yeah, he's one of the most. If Shaq didn't come along, he would have been the most dominant and best center to me. But I think Shaq definitely contended for that.
LeBron and Kareem have 2 of the best purely basketball resumes in the history of the game. Period. It's not even a debate.
You're leaving out Bill Russell, but okay.
I mean, Kareem, 5 rings, 6 MVPs, college championship, all-time leading scorer, 21 years.
3 college championships, 3
See?
MOP.
See, I gave him one. I ain't even know.
No.
3. Thanks. And then
3 college
LeBron,
championships, 3 MO.